오후 4시가 제 루틴에 낮잠을 자고 제일 에너지가 좋은 상태에서 무지한 책을 한번 또 1시간 반 이상에 한번 도전을 해보겠습니다. Crucial conversation. What's a crucial conversation? The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Despite the importance of a crucial conversation, we often back away from them because we fear will make the matters worse. We become masters at avoiding tough conversation. Co-workers send the email to each other when they should walk down the hall and talk turkey. Bosses leave voicemail in lieu of meeting with their direct report. Family members change the subject when an issue gets too risky. We, the authors, have a friend who learned through a voicemail message that his wife was divorcing him. We use all kinds of tactics to dodge touch issues. Digital minimalism, choosing a focused life in a noisy world. A lopsided arms race. We didn't sign up for this. I remember when I first encountered Facebook. It was the spring of 2004. I was a senior in college and began to notice an increasing number of my friends talk about a website called the Facebook.com. The first person to show me an actual Facebook profile was Julie, who was then my girlfriend and now my wife. My memory of it was that it was a novelty. She told me recently it had been sold to us as a virtual version of our printed freshman directory, something we could use to look up the boyfriends or girlfriends of people we knew. Digital minimalism, choosing a focused life in a noisy world. Mastering Fear, a Navy SEAL's Guide. Fear is a lot like the fire. When it's out of control, fire is destructive. Learn how to use it, and you can change the course of your destiny. His counterintuitive advice include stay in your comfort zone, at least at first. If you force to master your fears on a small scale and within safe parameters, you will develop the tools to go big. Understand that safety is an illusion. accepting that complete safety is a fantasy frees you to embrace those risks that are worth it, and to do so with passion and abandon. Masters of Scale: Surprising Truths from the World's Most Successful Entrepreneurs. 7. Watch what they do, not what they say. It became clear that in reality, less was actually more. The magic number was 10 results per page rather than the 30 the survey data had indicated. When you look at first-page search results requested per user, M says it fell off dramatically between 10 and 20. 25 was even worse. 30 was the worst of all. Rate is serious on learning about and from your customers. Watch what they do, not what they say. Watching what your customers are doing or trying to do with your product can light the way forward, but you have to be careful to pay attention to what they do and not just what they say. Make difficult people disappear. How to deal with stressful behavior and eliminate the conflict. Sibyl made a mental note to ask the trainer whether she planned to address how we choose to label the same behavior, but in different people differently. She decided quickly that asking whether those other elements would be included would be far more productive than assuming they would be and spending energy on disappointment. It was amazing to her how much she'd become aware of the power of her expectation. For videos and more information that will enhance what you've learned in this chapter, go to Don't Sweat the Small Stuff at Work. Back up when you don't know what to do. When your mind is active, full speed ahead. It tended to spin and churn. An overactive mind often goes over the same set of facts again and again, encouraging you to think inside the box. Your thinking becomes repetitive and habitual because it's going over that which it already knows or believes to be true. Because you are working so hard, you use a great deal of energy, creating unnecessary stress and anxiety. You can probably guess that an overactive mind is the perfect environment for sweating the small stuff. Sweating the small stuff. Entrepreneurs are made, not born. Secrets from 200 successful entrepreneurs. 12. Dealing with the past failure. The past is a prologue, engraved on the U.S. Supreme Court building. The past is the prologue. Dealing with the past failure. That's different. Make tracks before you look back. Gary and his partner S have been in the airline food business for more than 20 years. Gary says they have never failed, but admits they've made mistakes and tried to run from them. That's not very noble for an entrepreneur, but Gary's analysis of when to do it. Gary observed that he and his partner didn't linger over making a mistake to determine what they will do differently next time. They move right on to the next dream until they are just about ready to make that decision, and then say, what did we learn? What did we learn from the last time? That's different from what most entrepreneurs say they do. Most are like Lester, the multi-billionaire owner of General Dynamics, and many other companies who tried to study his mistakes right away. Lester feared that waiting until later would lead to rationalizing. Others believe that waiting removes you from the failure, reduce the need to personalize it, and promote the much-needed objectivity. There's a lot of wisdom in Gary's observation. At the time of the mistake, you may be too close to the situation to be objective. This was, after all, your dream, your baby. It's difficult during or just after your dream period to see and say what was wrong. Even more important, by immediately moving forward and stopping to look back only later, you develop an immediate momentum of going forward, which helps prevent the prior experience from immobilizing you, or worse yet, pulling you back. If you stick around to conduct the autopsy of your business failure, you might miss a window. You might miss a window of opportunity. If you stick around to conduct the autopsy of your business failure, you might miss a window of opportunity. The winning attitudes, your key to personal success. In Philippians chapter 2, Paul talks about the attitudes we should possess as Christians. Do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit, but with humility of mind, let each of you regard one another as more important than himself. Do not merely look out for your own personal interest, but also for the interest of others. National Museum of Natural History, official guide to the Smithsonian. South America. Left. Because of its owl-like hooves and large eyes. This northern night monkey is sometimes called an owl monkey, who works the night shift. Sound of the night surround you as you enter the rainforest discovery zone. After sundown, a different crew of mammals, the Amazonian rainforest, discover how these mammals use darkness to their advantage. Good product, bad product, essential elements to achieving superior quality. Chapter 6, Solve the Problem. Choose 2 products that fulfill your needs and please you emotionally, and 2 that do neither. Do not feel restricted. Do not feel restricted to products you own, although obviously you need to be familiar with them. Why do you consider each successful or not as far as emotion and needs are concerned? See if you can get into an argument with someone who feels differently about them. Why the difference? A company product strategy and good knowledge of customer needs are invaluable to designers defining products for the company. Get off your butt. How to end self-sabotage and stand up for yourself. In our email correspondence, he had told me that he was in his late 50s, and had never even kissed a girl. He thought he was coming to see me to work on his charisma with women, but that wasn't the case. It's never the case. When clients pay the money, take the time off from work and travel to see me, we rarely work on the issue they thought that they had in the beginning. This would be an intense 12-hour session. As he entered my office, he did what almost every client does, stopped to take in the view. It was late in the afternoon, and the picture windows framed the most gorgeous sunset. Then it sank down into my soft and inviting brown couch, and he went to work. My number one objective was to shift his physiology immediately. If I could get him to embrace his physical competence, he would feel an instant upgrade in his outlook. Your next season, advice for executives on transitioning from intense careers to fulfilling next season. To everything there is a season. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. 성경에 관련 소리인데. 성경을 인용해서 쓴 책인데. A time to be born and a time to die. A time for war and a time for peace. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, from the King James Version and the New International Version. I know that everything God does will endure forever. Nothing can be added to it and nothing taken from it. Out of the frying pan. Chapter 1, out of the frying pan. Imagine a future that is truly your own. When you are in the heat of the battle, as a corporate executive, it's hard to imagine what's on the other side. Your life is consumed with phone calls and meetings, travel and dinners out, presentation, explanation, expense and reports, budgets, and on and on. There are endless demands for your time and opinion. It is a relentlessly busy, all-consuming lifestyle. The higher you are in your company, the more command your company has over your non-work time and commitments and your family obligation, and you have a schedule that is long on appointment and shorter on time. It is hard, if not impossible, for executives to commit to non-work leadership opportunities due to their unpredictable schedules. Even close friendships tend to have a work connection. After many years of this intensity, the word retirement can make a seasoned executive experience and real anxiety as the implications sink in. What will I do? What will I do with all of that time? Expert. understanding the path to mastery. Is how people bring together the skills and the insight they've been developing for years and apply them to each new situation they encounter. Like the bass player in the jazz trio earlier in this chapter, you are able to solve a problem you couldn't have anticipated. Sometimes this capacity to think around the corners can even take your work in a new direction. That's what the next chapter is about. He make a good recovery, and soon he's able to go back to the general ward. Not long after that, he's well enough to go home, but it was a close call. My experience that night in the operating theater with Samba turned out to be a watershed. Watching him leave hospital a few days after I feared he'd die on the operating table showed me yet again that everything I needed to know was in the books. It gave me the confidence that I could find a solution when I needed to. Decades later, my heart still races when I think back to that operation. At the time, I was just thankful to have got away with it, to have come up with a trick that worked, but now I think of it as improvisation, of drawing on information that was floating around somewhere in my mind, finding it when I needed it most. At last I was beginning to become expert, Water said. Thank you, Power, making the science of gratitude work for you. The power of resilience. He is a man of sense who does not grieve for what he has not, but rejoices in what he has. After the terror attack of September 11th, people who had previously been identified as resilient were half as likely to be depressed as the rest of the population. 22% of Americans were depressed post 9/11. Researchers went back to people who'd scored high on resiliency at the beginning of the year. Not only were they handling the 9/11 associated sadness better, but many of those resilient people actually had more positive emotions during those traumatic weeks following the attack. Even more exciting, the researchers found low resilient individuals can benefit from positive emotion during the coping process. In other words, even if a thank you power isn't a regular part of one's life, the person who looks for and counts the blessings he or she can find will weather crises better. sticker shock the day you realize you are worth the millions, leveraging competence and success in the carpeting sales and life. Chapter 1, Sticker Shock. We have all been there. Yes, at some point in our life, one way or another, we have all been there. Sticker shocked. That initial reaction you made when you found out the price of the new SUV you really wanted to buy. You stood there in disbelief because you thought it was going to be less expensive. You hadn't bought a new vehicle in years, so there you stood frozen, like you had been a ghost, sticker shocked. Deep down in your heart, you know the new SUV is worth it. It has all the bells and whistles you desire. It's equipped with all the newest technologies. It has the upgraded leather package like you dreamed of. It's equipped with the latest and the greatest Bluetooth sound system you can connect your phone to. It comes with the heated seat you had been telling your best friend about. The truth is, on your way to the dealership, you were speaking with your best friend on the phone and explaining to her how you could feel the warmth of the heated seat on your back already. Realizing yourself the worst. No one else compared to you. Once you open yourself to the realization of all the features and benefits you come with, you start seeing yourself in a different manner. You start seeing your true self-worth. You are created with so many gifts inside of you. You are created with a unique blueprint. Think about it. No one else in this world has your voice. No one else in this world has your fingerprint. No one else in this world is just like you. No one else compared to you. When you begin to value who you are in life, everything changes. It helped me to understand I have so much more to give. Shortcuts equal shorter paycheck. The science of mind. The law of psychic phenomena. Introduction. The only excuse for taking up this topic in a course of lesson in mental science is that, being the phenomena of mind, it should come under the category of non-mental action. Infinite wisdom within me. Stop and think what this means. The intelligence that operates through everything, visible and the invisible. Infinite wisdom within me, infinite intelligence within me, infinite power within me. Feel what this means. The power that holds the planet in place. The power to which the united force of the human race is as nothing. infinite intelligence and infinite power within me. The great executor, infinite energy and wisdom within me, the all-knowing, the unerring mind of the universe, infinite peace within me, infinite peace, undisturbed and unalterable, infinite life, infinite peace within me. That means there is no disturbance, no commotion, no trouble. Coach yourself to success. Go on a money diet. Go on a money diet. Wealth consists not in having possession, but in having few ones. It is easy to forget in our consumer-based society that money can't buy happiness. But the latest research indicates that it may be even worse than we thought. According to the New York Times article, In Pursuit of Affluence at a High Price by A. Not only does having more things prove to be unfulfilling, but people for whom affluence is a priority in life tend to experience an unusual degree of anxiety and depression, as well as a lower overall level of well-being. The psychological researchers cited in the article found that pursuing goals that reflect the genuine human needs, like wanting to feel connected to others, turns out to be more psychologically beneficial than spending one's life trying to impress the others or to accumulate trendy clothes, fancy gizmos, and the money to keep buying them. The latter quest may amount to using compensation to try to compensate for something more meaningful. Dr. R concludes, the more we seek the satisfaction in material goods, the less we find them there. The satisfaction has a short half-life. It's very fleeting. This is a strong case for abandoning extrinsic material goals and instead focusing on developing better relationships and becoming a better human being. The heart of this the coaching program. Dr. W's common sense approach to lifelong well-being has a lot of appeal. W's message is hopeful and reassuring. Include in your diet the avocados and the nuts, especially walnuts, cashews, and almond and the nut butters made from them. Traction. Get a grip on your business. How to choose your 300 uniques. For this step, you might consider including your sales team in the marketing strategy session. List everything that you believe make your people, company, product, or service. What do your ideal customers think is unique about you? Ask them. It's a 10-minute phone call. Example: identity, marketing, and public relations, or PR and marketing firm. McKinsey, property management. Autumn Associate, property and casualty insurance. There are typically 3 to 7 major steps in any company's proven process. How to create your proven process. Step 1. With your team, illustrate on a whiteboard what you believe are the major steps in your proven process. Then give each step a name. These major steps are the touch points with your customers when you interface with them. The rule of thumb is 3 to 7 steps. Children's Human Body Encyclopedia. Blood vessels. When blood leaves the heart, it passes through strong, thick-walled arteries. These split and branch many times to form tiny capillaries. See pages 100. Which then join to the vein that carry the blood back to the heart. The blood flowing through the veins is under low pressure. The vegetarian myths: food justice and sustainability. I want to be clear. I'm not arguing that all non-industrial or even non-agricultural cultures are intrinsically egalitarian. Playing to win. How strategy really works. The 5 choices of the strategy choices. Cascade summarize and define the strategy for an organization or category or brand. Management system and measuring do's and don'ts. Do think about clarity and simplicity when communicating key strategic choices to the organization to get at the core. Don't overcomplicate the things. Mismeasuring our lives. One major challenge to these efforts is once again to capture quality change. On more stressless. How to attract wealth using the secret science of getting rich. Birdsong in the line of trees opposite my house. Getting twice as much writing of this book done than I had intended. Copy fresh croissant and bread from the bakery down the road. Then my extended family and friends are all in good health. Beat up a health scare yesterday, but turned out okay in the end. Do affirmation. Do the affirmation. Make sure that your affirmation is an accurate description of your clear and vivid picture. Make today count. Make today count. The secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda. Recognize your season of life. Not every phase of life is the same, nor should we try to make it that way. Ideally, a person's life should follow a pattern where the main focus goes from learning to earning to returning. Here's what I mean about each page. Learn. When you are young, your focus should be on exploring your talents, discovering your purpose, and learning your trade. If you are on track with your purpose, you've learned your trade well, and you practice it with excellence. The hope is that you'll be able to earn a good living. Return. We should always try to be generous, no matter our age. But if you've worked hard and planned well, you may enter a phase of life that is most rewarding, where you can focus on giving back to others. Most often that occurs when people are in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. Margaret and I are planning how we hope to do that in the coming years. Never check email in the morning. Most important, keep in mind that there really isn't that much more information available. It's just the same information recycled and available from many more sources. Choose your most reliable source or two, and let the rest go. Games or programs that you never use. Don't delete any operating or program files unless you are an absolute computer whiz. Skin in the game. Hidden asymmetries in daily life. More recently, the Hama massacre in 1982 of Syrian jihadis by Assad Sr. caused documented casualties. By my estimation, at least an order of magnitude lower than what is reported. The rest came from inflation, numbers swelling over time from 2,000 to close to 40,000 without significant new information. Search inside yourself. The unexpected path to achieving success, happiness, and world peace. After everybody had a chance to speak, have a meta conversation to talk about what this experience was like for each of you. In our class, for example, many participants told us they gained a useful amount of clarity with just a few minutes of speaking to each other, discovering values and higher purpose. Start. Punch fear in the face. Escape average. Do work that matter. Start. punch fear in the face. Be a student of you. Then you've got 42 years of research. You've got 42 years of evidence indicating how you best accomplish things. You need to be a student. You need to be a student of you. What do you do the best? I asked. One afternoon I had lunch at Mellow Mushroom with a pastor. He wanted to write a book and didn't know where to start. He asked me, should I take 3 months off to write it? Take a sabbatical, get a cabin somewhere, and hole up in there until it's done. Oh. Or should I take the opposite route, write a page a day, so that by the end of the year I have over 300 pages done? He continued to rattle up options based on a number of different books about writing. Finally, I asked him, how old are you? 42, he replied. Then you've got 42 years of research. Rattle up. No one aims for average. No one set out for status quo. No one longs for ordinary. But one day you wake up and ask yourself, how did I get here? You wonder if there's a way to be more awesome, more open, a way to punch fear in the face, escape average, and do work that matters. A world without the work, technology, automation, and how we should respond. And even if you think that such communities have no moral significance, what about their practical significance? What if tightening membership criteria to strengthen social solidarity is the only way to stop a community with cavernous economic divide from falling apart? Cavernous. Insect, a natural history and identification guide to beetles, flies, bees, wasps, mayflies, dragonflies, cockroaches, mantis, earwigs, ants, and many more. Stick and leopard insect. Division of the order. There are 3 families in the order. Life cycle of a stick-cut insect. The male of the species had stronger wings, and it is he who flies to find a mate. stick insect. Public speaking, principles of public speaking. Directories. Unlike search engines that are programmed to seek matches without regard to quality, directories have been developed by information specialists. Directories also seek information, but they have arranged the internet site by topic, such as sport, shopping, entertainment, finance, and news. So you can choose a directory that is most likely to generate specific matches to your search goals. How chapter the line, getting smarter about visual information. How much on average will people with the income of $10,000, $100,000, and $1 million save every year? The Tax Policy Center made the following estimate of the percentage increase in after-tax income that a typical household in each of several income brackets would enjoy thanks to the Tax Cuts and the Jobs Act. I love adventure movies. This isn't true. Black Panther was a deserving, smashing success, but it is very likely not the third highest growing movie ever in the United States. A common problem in stories about movie at the box offices is that they often contain non-adjusted prices when they should consider adjusted prices. 1001 Ways to be romantic. Love is timeless. Wonderful weekends, timeless. And to prove it, cover up all the clocks in your house for the weekend. Turn them to the wall or cover their faces. You'll discover that time seems to pass more leisurely when you don't know exactly what time it is. Chapter Sims song, Big Weekend. FYI. The weekend is 29% of a week. This is a lot of time. Don't waste it doing chores. FYI. Messages from heaven. I still needed to run to the store to buy a few things for dinner. Let's brush ourselves off. I needed to go to the food store. After that, we can pick up the Lisa. Grace, who didn't know the family's secret. She had a brother who died when she was an infant, until he came to her in a dream and became her guardian angel. The 5 most important questions you will ever ask about your organization. What is our plan? Salary review. Review the information that is provided on your organization, its customers, trend in its operating environment, and other self-assessment material or reports. My final word on how to use this book. Please don't rush through it at the last minute. The 5 questions appear simple, but they are not. Give them time to sink in, wrestle over them. The great demographic, aging societies, waning inequality, and an inflation revival, and whether concentration, monopoly in private industry grows or lessens in future is largely a matter for public policy and could go either way. So our view is that the growing inequality within countries has been mainly caused by the unprecedented surge in labor availability caused by globalization and demography, chapters 1 and 3, leading to a dramatic decline in labor's bargaining strength. If so, P is history, but we could have caused to be wrong. The rise of populism. Pay packages typically include an annual bonus and a long-term incentive plan on top of base salary. While salary increases have been steady since the late 1990s, performance-related payments have increased dramatically, driving a rapid increase in total pay over the same period. Communication, the key to effective leadership. I had always been a good athlete, but now I intensified my commitment to sport. I was still a team player, but now I wanted the challenge of guarding the other team's best players on defense, and I wanted to be the one with the ball in my hand for the game winner at the buzzer. Digital transformation survived and thrived in an era of mass extinction. Today we see even more changes in the form factor of computer devices. I expect that in the next few years virtually everything will have become a computer, from eyeglasses to pill bottles, heart monitors, refrigerators, fuel pump, and automobile. The Internet of Things, along with AI, create a powerful system that was barely imaginable at the beginning of the 21st century, enabling us to solve problems previously unsolvable. Presentation secret, eye-opening description of storytelling techniques employed by the pros. Eye-opening. Spirituality for Dummies. Fulfill your dreams through affirmation. No matter how much fun your game is, it's still just a game compared to your profound essence as a spirit. The Quantum Life. there is a better way to live. Meditation is transformative, which is the reason that few people which cross my path escape my training in meditation. Brain rules. 12 principles for surviving and thriving at work, home, and at the school. The loss of productivity contribute to the most, about $33 billion of the total. Second, those same people who have lost their creativity incur more healthcare expense. Chaotics. The business of managing and marketing in the age of turbulence. Conclusion. The goal of chaotics is to provide business leaders with a clear guide to create a responsive, robust and resilient organization. Such organizations have the ability to react quickly to a constantly changing environment. They can withstand greater stress and pressures with minimal damage. They can cope with unpredictable variation in their environment, and they have the ability to rebound when the hard times end and the circumstances improve. These enterprises will succeed in the new environment and in any environment. By boldly implementing the prophylactic protection of chaotic strategic behavior, department by department, business executives will move forward to secure their company's future against the increasingly unpredictable environment that lies ahead. Finally, such organization will possess the collective knowledge and skills to create cultures that have the necessary underpinnings deeply embedded in them to attain long-term business enterprise sustainability well into the future. Strategies of the Serengeti. Focusing strategic activity on ascending or static IOIS is obviously of greater importance than focusing strategies on declining IOIS. Emotional intelligence succinctly explains how to deal with emotion creatively and employ our intelligence in beneficial way. One of the intriguing things about the building an acute sense of social awareness is that emotion, facial expression, and body language have been shown to translate across many different cultures. You can use these skills wherever you are. The lens you look through must be clear. The alter ego effect, the power of secret identities to transform your life. What if the game we played as children held the greatest gift to helping us achieve more today? Herman has been coaching champions in every field for over 20 years, and it helped them bring out their heroic self to transcend the forces pulling them into the ordinary world. He would never have taken these steps if he didn't first admit to himself what it was that he wanted more than anything. One your first grader needs to know fundamentals of a good first grade education. On a cold day in December, a ship arrived in Boston Harbor. It was carrying a load of tea. Many colonists were angry. They did not want to pay taxes on this tea. The psychology book Big Ideas simply explained. Children originally from neglectful or abusive homes are afraid that they will not be loved by their adoptive family. It is notoriously inadequate to take an adopted child into one's home and love him. Wynne explains that when a child has been deprived of proper parental nurturing and is then granted a chance of this in a healthy family environment, such as with an adoptive or foster family, the child begins to develop unconscious hope. But fear is associated with this hope. When a child has been so devastatingly disappointed in the past, with even basic emotional or physical needs unsatisfied, dependencies arise. Financial freedom, a proven path to all the money you'll ever need, and is still on track to hit its target number of $1.5 million by age 30. Barack Obama, A Promised Land. Was it fair to devote the hard-earned tax dollars of those Americans to reducing the mortgage payments of a neighbor who'd fallen behind? What if the neighbor had bought a bigger house than they could really afford? What if they had opted for a cheaper but riskier type of mortgage? Didn't matter if the neighbor had been duped by a mortgage broker into thinking they were doing the right thing. Dupe. The psychology of the money. Even though she knows little. She doesn't realize it because she tells herself a coherent story about what's going on based on the little she doesn't know. All of us, no matter our age, do the same thing. 101 true stories from kids who have lived through it. My mouth had hit the floor. I feebly tried to form a thank you, but I couldn't seem to string the words together. When I got off the phone, I was overwhelmed with emotion. He had stuck his neck out for me. He had gone above and beyond for me, and he didn't even have to. Nowhere in his job description does it say, stand up to your boss and fight the system to help the underdog. Yet he had done it all the time. I started to cry. Underdog. Influence. How women's soaring economic power will transform our world for the better. That's especially true for women. Not only do we outlive men and thus need to save more for a longer retirement, but as women, especially single ones, we are far more likely to be poor than men outlive. Psychology for Dummies, a reference for the rest of us. This user-friendly guide takes you from Freud to forensic to family matters as you explore the wonders of human behavior and discover how to know yourself and others better than ever before. Discover why you are who you are and why you act the way you do. Get comfy on the couch with tips for greater mental health. Unlimited power. In the next chapter, we are going to look at the underpinning of all successful human interaction. The glue that bound people together is called underpinning. The psychology of wealth. Understand your relationship with money and achieve prosperity. After the first of these events, word of the reenactment made its way to Benny's sister, who happened to be the family historian. The gaslighter effect. Learn how to stop letting other people get inside your head, tell you what you think, shake your judgment, sabotage your self-esteem, make you question your grip on reality. The more Jill tried to win a boss's good opinion, the less he seemed to think of her. Are you fully charged? The 3 keys to energizing your work and life. Build a cumulative advantage. When you focus on other people's shortcomings, they lose confidence in their abilities. But if you focus on their hard work and success, you produce sustainable increase in their self-confidence. What's more, researchers have discovered that the earlier in life you focus on a person's daily success, the greater the gains over time. The power of storytelling. Captivate, convince or combat and Billings audience using stories from top CEOs. He said he started by finding out who was linked to Stanford University's homepage. How to create a culture of excellence, designing high-performance jobs, trusting people to make a choice about where, when, and with whom they should work makes jobs more engaging. Be happy. Release the power of happiness in you. On average, I would say most people complete a total of 10 entries across the 3 columns. I encourage you to take some time now to identify your own happiness condition Happiness condition of if, when, and after. Here are a few examples of what people write. I'll be happy when I have a loving partner. I'll be happy after I have found my next job. I'd be happy if my talents were more recognized. I'll be happy when I have enough money. I'll be happy after I sort my life out. I'll be happy when I have lost 10 pounds. Public speaking for dummies. Then man second from the left in the front row. His name is Noah. Handling a top audience. Upbeat audience. An upbeat audience respond in ways that you don't anticipate. Upbeat. Animal spirit. How human psychology drives the economy and why it matters for global capitalism. Being black. It requires explanation. Significant macroeconomic events almost always lift almost all boats. For example, when the unemployment rate goes up or down by 1 or 2 points, unemployment rates for all groups, young, old, male, female, black, white, Hispanic, also go up or down significantly. Digital marketing. Determine the best market and fit for your brand. Anyone who monitors these hashtags or topics has a chance to see these tweets. Chicken soup for the college soul. Inspiring and humorous stories about the college. We looked again at each other, then went on. The cars wrapped and drove past in anger as soon as we were out of their path. Learn like a pro. Science-based tools to become better at anything. Milestone goals. Your long-term goals should also be supplemented with some near-future milestone goals that act as steps on the road to reaching your long-term goals. Such goals could be reaching a certain grade point average and goals for your individual subject. Good goals are smart, specific, measurable, ambitious, realistic, time-limited. The art of asking. Ask better questions, get better answers. The impact it had was to force people into presentation format that enabled the question of their leader, rather than the leader recognizing the kind of qualities needed by management. Performance of this company remained mediocre. The attractor factor. 5 easy steps for creating wealth or anything else from the inside out. I know this is tough to understand. But let's use another example from the M. Think of the energy you get each day as cash. You wake up in the morning with $500 available for the day, but you are still mad because your spouse said something mean to you last night. That's going to cost you. You are spending $50 to keep that energy alive in you. Five-day weekend. Location. Once you've found a property to analyze, the first thing to look at is location. What's the neighborhood like? Who lives there? What amenities are available? Is the property close to schools and shopping? Will it require a long commute to work? Is it on a busy street or a quieter one? Filter 3, number 3, physical inspection or offer. Physical inspection, execute on contract. The Mozart effect, tapping the power of music to heal the body, strengthen the mind, and unlock the creative spirit. A side benefit of the sense of well-being, it can foster its reduced healthcare cost. On speaking well, how to give a speech with style, substance, and clarity. Outside of a person's love, the most sacred thing that they can give is their labor, and something along the way we tend to forget that. Finding your own authentic voice, developing a text that interested you. New York City with the kids. A recent exhibit have included pop art and superhero costumes. Ask, and it is given. Learning to manifest your desire. It is then that you will begin to enjoy your journey. You will never get there, so enjoy your journey. Once you consciously observe from your own creative perspective how each new achievement leads to another new desire, you will begin to personally understand your part in this expansive universe. The age of agile, how smart companies are transforming the way work gets done. In 1983, Porter co-founded his consulting company, the Monitor Group, which over the succeeding decades generated hundreds of millions of dollars in fees from clients and provided rich livelihoods for other consulting firms like McKinsey, Bain, and BCG. Exactly what to say, the magic words for influence and impact. This shift of control now leaves the other person obligated to give an answer and fill in the gaps in their previous statement. What you are asking them to do is to explain themselves properly. Win at work, succeed in life. 5 principles to free yourself from the cult of overwork. This abandonment of balance especially burdens women. If you find yourself in a season where you are off the balance, consider the trade-offs and get back on track. Find your happiness. One-on-one inspirational stories about finding your purpose, passion, and the joy. Use positive thinking to change your attitudes. There are many roads to happiness. After you read these stories, you'll be much better equipped to find the path and the destination that's right for you. Designing your life. How to build a well-lived, joyful life. Once the group is convened, the session proceeds as follows. Framing a good question. How many ways can we think of to make sure that we haven't limited our potential output? You also want to be careful not to include your solution accidentally in your question. This happens all the time with some of Bill's clients. They want to brainstorm 10 new ways to make a ladder for a stock room. The science of success, the secret to getting what you want, the science of being well. Kill the company, end the status quo, start an innovation revolution, our mission. Our mission is to create a more innovative and thought-provoking and agile culture within our organization. Experiment in life. One particular consequence I used with V a few times, which I thought was rather funny as I was a fan of the movie Cool Hand Luke, was to have dig holes in the backyard and then fill them back in. Bag the elephant. How to win and keep big customers. Remember, it's not always the lowest bidder who gets the contract. And if your project is up for rebid, keep in mind that you stand a pretty good chance of winning the bid, but probably after negotiating yourself out of 10% or more of your profit. The positive shift. Mastering mindset to improve happiness, health, and longevity. What do these findings suggest for those of us not fortunate enough to have a great view of nature from our office or home windows? Go buy some plants. Happiness is an inside job, practicing for a joyful life, tidying the mind, how mindfulness cultivated wisdom. The analogy that he used to describe the state of the mind left to its own random devices is that of a messy living room. The personality code. Unlock the secret to understanding your boss, your colleagues, your friends, and yourself. These polar opposites are in stark contrast that any of the other anti-typed pairs. The power is a user's guide to the rest of your life. Achieve financial freedom. Contact each of them and explain what you are trying to do and how you hope they can help. Use your vision statement. Use your vision statement to share what you have discovered about yourself and what you want to do with the rest of your life. The miracles of your mind. Are you ready to unlock your true potential? One of our students who attended our lectures on the miracle of the mind had severe eye trouble, which the doctor said necessitated operation. He was instructed how to use the Nancy School technique. Take a little praise or affirmation, easily graven on the memory, and repeat it over and over again like a lullaby. Each night this man, as he went to sleep, entered into the drowsy, meditative state, the state akin to sleep. Brainstorm, unleashing your creative self. What's the prize, you ask? Why men want sex and women need love. Avoid blaming each other for what you did or didn't do. It is a negative approach and won't help you uncover and address the problems that led to the affair. Protect yourself at college, Greek life and hazing. Get my phone charger from my car because the hospital has my number and I will need to stay in communication with them. Stepping up, how taking responsibility changes everything. The idea of stepping up and speaking up in an uninvited way brings fear to most of us. In our personal lives, we fear that we might damage our relationship with friends, colleagues, or family members by speaking an unpopular truth. The prospect of speaking up seems even more daunting in the workplace, where we all know that kissing up and getting with the program is the path to success. No kissing up. Rejected. Yeah, since the first show with L. Louis the Black in late 2001, I have had the privilege of sharing the stage with an amazing cast of comedians, writers, and actors, each and every one of them with an impressive, enviable body of work to their credit. The unwritten rules, the 6 skills you need to get promoted to the executive level. Yeah, such opportunities to increase your visibility are only that, potential chances to shine. As you look for ways to increase your exposure to more senior executives, keep working to develop the leadership skills that relate to the 6 core selection factors. Starting a food truck business. Everything you need to succeed with your kitchen on wheels. Constantly be on the lookout for good people and have a file of backs up. Willpower doesn't work. Discover the hidden keys to success. For example, I recently arranged to go to a movie with a friend a few weeks in advance. Marketing made simple. A step-by-step story brand guide for any business. Your lead generator can be a PDF, a video series, a free sample, a live event, or anything you can give your potential customer that helps them solve a problem. The greater the warming, climate change, and the rise and fall of civilization. Many of these communities were also involved in fishing. Interview for Success, a practical guide to increasing job interviews, offers, and salaries. When the caveman saw a saber-toothed tiger in the tall grass, his mind registered danger. Mindset. How we can learn to fulfill our potential. Parenting. In my work, I have seen top guys shed tears when they realize they can become smarter. It's common for students to turn up to school and adopt an air of indifference, but we make a mistake if we think a student stop caring. The idea hunter, how to find the best ideas and make them happen. That's true in our experience, but then how do you start winnowing down, and selecting the best idea, winnowing down. The worry solution, using breakthrough brain science to turn stress and anxiety into competence and happiness. I think of bad worry as fretting about things you can't do anything about and focusing on the outcomes that you don't want to happen. The resilience factor, 7 keys to finding your inner strengths and overcoming life's hurdles. What is it with you? Caustic beginning, caustic. The art of aging, a doctor's prescription for well-being. She was to leave for Singapore in 2 weeks, stayed there for a few days, and then proceeded to Madison for a visit with her granddaughter. Brain, surviving the technological alteration of the modern mind. Key strategies for bridging the brain gap, a technology toolkit for digital immigrants, tips for managing techno-brain burnout. Don't go it alone. Spend more time with the people you care about. Little Black Book, a toolkit for working the women body. When it comes to creativity, the physical informs the mental, giving your body the TLC it deserves will send you up to do your best work and keep your ideas flowing. Here's how. Food for thought, TLC. Giving your body the TLC. The new climate war, the fight to take back our planet, shows us how we can take the bold step we must all take together to win the battle to save this other planet. We do not face a scenario of near-term societal collapse or human extinction. The new brand you, your new image make the sell for you. Now discover your strengths. 저 46분.